What's up everyone, it's Tyranitar2 and welcome back to another Pokemon coverage video. You know, if you ask me, I'd say it's only a matter of weeks until Pokemon gets hyped again, and by that I mean the next game's being announced. But that's just a prediction, and until then we've got a mystery on our hands that seems like it's about to get revealed. This month's Korokoro contained information on the upcoming movie featuring Hoopa, and it brings up a ton of things for speculation. This is the main thing revealed, a poster or movie cover for the 18th Pokemon movie. Hoopa and this whole Unbound mystery, if Pokemon is going the way I think it is something I'm extremely hyped about, but I already gave my full thoughts on Hoopa Unbound in another video, so right now let's just stick to this poster. This poster is nothing like the other poster we've seen. Look at this. This is the movie poster for the previous Pokemon movie, Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. And the only main attractions here are just a worried Diancie, a pissed off Xerneas, and a really pissed off Yveltal. But this is just out of the norm for Pokemon. You've got Hoopa on the front using one of its rings, a bunch of legendaries scattered around in the background, and Serena just happy about her new clothes. No, but take a good look at this image. There are a ton of things going on, and you can interpret this in a few ways. We already know all the legendaries Hoopa was able to pull out in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but in this movie it looks like it's only dealing with more major and destructive legendaries, which goes back to the question of what it's trying to accomplish. You've got a bunch of these legendaries just scrapping with each other. Lugia, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Kyurem, Latias, Latios, and not to mention Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, and Mega Rayquaza. In the Rise of Darkrai movie, when just Dialga and Palkia were fighting, the world was literally deteriorating and time and space was being destroyed. But now it's not just between the time and space legends, it's between a ton of different colossal legends from all kinds of different myths. If you look up in the clouds, you'll notice a huge portal with glowing red eyes on it. Now, I'm not no genius, but the eye shape does match the eye shape of Unbound Hoopa, but we all saw that coming. It's kind of a fact now that Hoopa will become Unbound in this movie. But then you look down behind Ash and Serena 2.0 and see, what? Arceus? This takes matters to a whole new level. Now, while I'd like to consider Mew as the original Pokemon, factually Arceus is in fact the god of the Pokemon world, said to have been born before the universe existed and then shaped it with its 1,000 arms. As the god of Pokemon, it has the highest natural base stat total of 720, only passed by a few Primal and Mega Pokemon. But I mean, look at its lore. Arceus clearly has a more powerful form that is yet to be revealed, so it'll claim its throne back at some point. Point is, Arceus is supposed to be the god of Pokemon. What is he doing in Hoopa's movie? If you look carefully, Arceus actually stands out from the rest of the legendaries. When it comes to Hoopa's power, it may have been able to pull out legendaries like Palkia from their own dimensions, but it doesn't look like it was able to pull out the god itself, who seems like the only one strong enough and capable enough to take on Hoopa. But just take that in. Are they really gonna make Hoopa that insane to the point where Arceus has to be called upon? But just keep that thought. There's a little synopsis on the movie included on the official site, but don't worry, it's a synopsis with no spoilers on the movie. The movie seems to start off with Ash and his friends munching on donuts when one of Hoopa's rings appear behind them. A hand comes out of the ring and tries to take a donut, and Ash and Pikachu, destined to retrieve their donut, grab onto the hand, which pulls them along with the donut through the ring. On the other side of the ring, Ash and Pikachu are tossed out and they're in the middle of a place called Desert City beside a talking Hoopa holding their donut. What? I'm not making that up, that's the start to the story. It's supposed to go from Hoopa the Donut Snatcher to Hoopa the legendary so powerful that Arceus has to come down to stop it. But see, now go back to this poster. Ash and Pikachu are the only ones that went through that portal, and at this moment we don't even know if Desert City is a different place in the world or in another dimension, but that place behind them is supposed to be Desert City. But from the looks of it, Hoopa looks capable of entering other dimensions, most evident through it being able to pull out Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, and shiny Mega Rayquaza. I mean, look at everything Archie and Maxie had to go through just to awaken one of the Primals. It looks more like Hoopa pulled these guys from an entirely different dimension where they were fighting the battle in the Legends, the same battle that Rayquaza had to stop. In fact, that's exactly what they showed in the teaser of this movie, Hoopa pulling the 3 ancient weather legends out of this apocalyptic area. If you recollect what happened in the previous movies, you may remember that at the end of the Diamond and Pearl movie trilogy in the Arceus movie, Arceus asks for Ash's name and personally acknowledges him. So it makes sense if Ash could call upon Arceus with the help of older friends like Sheena and fight the battle as Ash and Arceus against Hoopa and its entire army of legendaries. Some of you also suggested that the battle may be split in half and it's Arceus, the Creation Trio, and the Lati Twins against the rest of the legendaries, since the Diamond and Pearl trilogy showed the development of a strong bond between Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina with Ash, and the Pokemon Heroes movie shows off development with the Lati Twins. But really, I could be going on about the possibilities in this for days. I'll leave that up to you guys to speculate. But there's still a lot more in this. Behind Ash's friends are 3 new but mysterious characters, and they all seem to relate back to the reoccurring desert theme. There's a girl wearing a Nemesis-like Egyptian crown, a man trying to shadow clone himself, and on the other side, a devious man all alone. One big mystery about Hoopa is its origin. Hoopa used to be free and reckless in its unbound form until someone was able to seal its powers into a bottle so that it could be stopped but stored if needed for the future. X and Y tales always talk about Hoopa transporting things to a desert area, the same area Ash is transported to in this movie, and the same area these 3 people are from. Hoopa has a connection to these 3 people. This girl looks like a princess and has a top knot on her head as a direct tribute to the top knot on Hoopa's head, and along with this man, they both look like descendants of the original person who sealed away Hoopa's powers. They share a ton of similarities, especially in clothing. But going back to the other side, not sharing any similarities and almost looking like the rebel of this movie is this man who is holding the exact bottle Hoopa's powers are in, the prison bottle. Now, I don't know if this movie is gonna finally expose the full story of Hoopa, but to be honest, this seems like a Pokemon movie that's gonna be really interesting. Ever since Arceus was revealed, and as the alpha Pokemon, the one to have started it all, there's always been speculation on Arceus' match as the one to end it all. Not to say that Hoopa is that Pokemon, but they do fit as opposite sides of the spectrum, both in typing, size, and power. And as an example, Arceus created the Creation Trio to maintain time-space distortion, and Hoopa is using these same legendaries to cause destruction. But anyways guys, that's it for this video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and let me know your thoughts on this movie. It's really odd how far it seems like this movie will go. I mean, I've watched a lot of the Pokemon movies and a few of the more recent ones have been pretty plain, so to see it go from Diancie trying to discover its true power to a huge battle between Hoopa, Arceus, and a full army of legendaries is just insane. In other news, also be sure to check out the new Tyranitar Tube tee available. You may remember this shirt from a few months ago, and I was having a few problems launching the campaign, but now you can finally grab one for the next 21 days. There's gonna be a new episode of the Alpha Sapphire Extreme Randomizer tomorrow, as well as a Primal Clash booster box breakdown and opening this Saturday, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. What if Serena 2.0 is gonna be the female character in the X and Y sequels?